I will be answering some of your comments and we will see how it goes. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me. Need to fix this mic first. Better, I guess. So, um, the comments that I was supposed to answer, like, they were kind of overwhelming, some of them. Some of them were too difficult to answer. So I don't know if, I mean, I wasn't unsure if I could answer them or not. It is transition related and HRT related and surgery related comments that I'm supposed to answer. And I don't know, I'm not at the stage maybe who can answer everything because my journey is very different than a lot of people how they would choose. And in the end, I will also discuss like what are my current thoughts on transition and how life is treating me and the transition really is as like heavenly as we all think about. So we will talk about it. Okay, I will not hide anything from you guys because I don't want to inspire people for something that may not be 100% good for them. But also I want to support those who wants to, get something out of it and who has no other option but to transition and they don't know how to. So I will try to guide you the correct way maybe. But let's let's start with this comment. So this person has been asking me from some time, and the ID name for that person is Quare. So if you are watching, this is for you. And so let's see. The first, so they asked me several questions, by the way, the same person, Quare, and I'm going to try to answer and try to answer it. Okay, so so the first question is a normal male has strong libido. If he becomes a woman through surgery, will the sexual desire suddenly increase or stay the same or decrease? If the answer is whatever, will remain the same as normal people or will decrease, why is that? Why do we not develop sexual desire by looking at naked girls' body in the mirror? Okay, bit too much for the first question. If you also increase the dose, okay, that's the second one, but anyway. So the first question first. Of course, libido when you're not on hormones, your if you're male to female, your body is driven with testosterones and hence your libido is quite good. But after taking hormones, after popping your body with hormones and all any medicine basically, it does have some side effects. So with hormones, it does decrease your libido over time, not all at once. Like not, it's not gonna happen like, oh, all of a sudden your libido is gonna go down. So your libido will go down a bit, but it will not completely vanish, and it will not go down all at once. So that's something. Oh, I need to mute the 1 second. Yes, so I muted the notification, so at least we will not get disturbed. Hi everyone. in the welcome to my live from chat. So everyone who's in the chat box, thank you very much for joining. So I'm replying to this message, this comment, and the person has asked about the libido before and after transition. So as I said, when you're on testosterone, like when you're not basically taking hormones and your body is naturally producing testosterone, your libido will be high and you will be more sexually aroused. You will be probably, doing a hand stuff more often than, or intimacy, intimacy and all those activities more often, I guess, than after transition. So after transition, and by transition I mean like after HRT, your libidos do go down, but not straight away, after some time. And if you have a surgery, that's completely different story, because, or if you are like, what do you call, or if you have had orchiectomy, that is also something different. So there are different ways. First of all, I just want to say to people, I'm not operated yet, and I'm just a pre-op trans person who has been on HRT for about 10 years, and I have not had orchiectomy either. Although I wanted to have orchiectomy, but unfortunately, I'm living in a country which wants to just offer me only one type of surgery, and that is like, that is not good, like penile inversion technique, which is not good for me because I have been circumcised when I was a kid. So it that surgery, that particular surgery, I did my research, is not good for me. So I'm not gonna have it done, even if it's coming free on my way. And the type of surgeries that would be suitable for me are very expensive and have to pay privately for that, and I cannot afford it right now. That's why I made a YouTube channel. Maybe I could earn some side money from it if it gets to that stage, uh, so I can afford some sort of help. Because meanwhile, I'm sick and tired of taking hormones and taking injections for hormone blockers, like for testosterone blockers, from 10 years, because it has some serious side effects. It comes with serious side effects, I mean, and I don't want to have any of those side effects. And you can't be on these injections for more than 5 years, but I have been on 10 years now. The reason why, because I can't even have orchiectomy for free. So I need to earn money to afford it. I If I like invest all my savings into the surgery, I will be broke. So I don't want to do that right now. I can't afford it. Anyway, so when the person asked me about how much it cost, don't even ask. It's like £10,000 to £20,000 if you done it in if you do it in UK. But if you do it abroad, maybe it will be a little cheaper. But if anything goes wrong, that's up to you, and you still need money for tickets, for airplane tickets, for traveling cost and surgery cost, which is not going to be as expensive as the one if you get it done in UK privately, but it will still be a lot. So unless if somebody is like providing you this facility to do it, or unless if you have a well supported health insurance that covers it, otherwise no. And yeah, unfortunately in UK the health insurances are very, very expensive as well, private health insurances. Anyway, so as I said, because I have not had bottom surgery yet, and I have not had orchiectomy, although I wanted to have orchiectomy until I do not have surgery, because it could stop me taking that many anti-testosterone injections every year, every few months actually. So, but anyway, what can I do? you know. So your sex drive does go down. After surgeries, depending on what type of surgery you have, if you have a bottom surgery, there are different techniques: peritoneal techniques, colon technique, uh, colonplasty, I mean, and penile inversion technique, and there is another vaginoplasty technique, which is basically non-working vagina. So there are different types of techniques. Depends which technique you are using for you to have the operation done on you, and you need to decide for yourself, because you know what, doctors will tell you anything. They will suggest you whatever is best for them, basically. And a lot of these healthcare professionals and the doctors, they will be uh, sometimes misguiding you, basically. They will be trying to suggest from their budget, like for example, here doctor suggested me penile inversion and it's not good for me. I had a consultation, searched online, and no, unfortunately it's not good for me. So uh, if you hear on social media, a lot of people are saying, oh, they made me do it, or I had a butch surgery and I'm regretting it and stuff, because a lot of people say that, and you hear all those testimonials on social media. They're not entirely wrong. And by the way, guys, if you can't hear me correctly, let me know, okay? So they're not entirely wrong, but as a person, whether you're trans, whether you're not trans, if any doctor is diagnosing you and suggesting you certain thing to get operated on, it's your individual responsibility to figure out what procedure is best for you. Whether you need it, you can always say no, no matter how good the offer looks. And you can never rely on doctors completely. You need to do your own research before you go ahead with anything. Okay? So, I did my research and I figured out no, not for me. So, depending on all different types of techniques, some techniques will give you the vagina that is working vagina, that is self lubricating vagina, and some techniques will give you type of vagina in which it will not be self lubricating. For example, in colon plasty technique, a lot of people say that if you have a colon plasty vagina, it smells funny because they use colon, and it comes from your large intestines and stuff. So yeah, obviously this it's self lubricating, but there will be smell. If you're having peritoneal, they say you wouldn't have that sort of smell, and it will be self lubricating. So, and a fairly new technique, by the way, so you got to be still careful. But so far, that's what I'm considering. And then there is a penile inversion technique in which they offer, like, they take your penis and construct a vagina using your like penis skin and your scrotum skin. It depends like how much skin you have there. So they will use your scrotum skin and your penis skin and everything to create a vagina. It's like inverting it inside, basically. That technique is non lubricating. There are rarely some trans people who say once in a while, like, oh, I am able to self lubricate even with that technique. Lucky for them. But it doesn't work for everyone, because that's what it says on, if you search for it, that's what it says. It's not supposed to give you the self lubricating vagina. So I do not want that. And especially like if you're an Asian person and if you have been circumcised, the penile inversion technique is not good for you. Or for example, if your thing has shrunk a lot already because of being on hormones for a while, or if you don't have good enough size to begin with, you know, then that technique is not suitable for you, because for that technique you do need your own skin. Like for example, the bigger you are there, the better it is for you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that works only for that matters. So it's a very risky one, and that's the only one they offer. I don't know why they still offer that type of technique, because it's very old-fashioned technique, and there are better techniques in market nowadays which people can use, but unfortunately some people don't. So yeah, and uh, it is possible to achieve orgasms in these techniques. Especially, I heard a lot of trans people saying they are able to achieve orgasm. Not that easy at first, but they are able to achieve it with the help of colonplasty technique or a peritoneal technique. Also, some people said about penile inversion technique as well, but again, rarely. So the least one I would recommend is penile inversion, unless if you are hung down there, which in our case is rarely. So yeah, so I'm pre-operated, and while I'm on hormones and not have my bottom surgery yet, my sexual uh, libido, basically, my libido has gone down a lot in these 10 years. For example, I only feel it once a week. And yeah, I can have romance. I do have those urges to do romance and stuff, but when talking about, the like having intimacy from that part, that has decreased, because especially like when it comes to ejaculation or something, because now you have to, I mean, I don't know how to explain this, but so basically you can have any other type of sex, but not the not necessarily like you will be able to finish it every week, every day, basically. So that has decreased. Sometimes it happens, like sometimes, like if I feel like having my libido up, basically, then what I have to do is I have to be off on hormones for a while, so my libido goes back up, because again, I'm not operated, so that can go up a little bit, and that way I can, have it more often. So, by the way, your testicles are not the only thing that produce testosterone and that makes you feel sexual in your body. But what it does is, like, it if you're on hormones, I think it's better whether you're if you have a surgery or if you have no hormones at all, because that way you can have a proper functioning something. Because when you're not operated, when you do not have a surgery, bottom surgery, and you're on hormones, you're stuck in the middle. You can't have proper functioning penis compared to what you used to have, and you will not have a proper functioning vagina either. So either way, this is difficult. So I would rather pick no hormones or a surgery. But right now I can't have. Right now I can't afford to have any one choice, basically. So yeah, and I'm going to read the second question. Let me read some comments before I go to the second question. Okay. Hi, Richard Jones, EJ. Has full surgery improved? I'm not convinced about effectiveness. I'm not either convinced fully about effectiveness, because every individual is different. There are so many testimonials on YouTube and on social media. Plenty of trans people saying it's working very well for them, and there are so many of them who are scaring and who are telling that they regret it, and they have a butch surgery and now they regret it because they can't have sex, or they have other type of health complications because of this. So yeah, people are saying different things, and it is confusing, it is scary. But do your research. I personally think that happens because people just rush to surgery, whatever is suggested or provided to them, without doing their own research, that what is best for them, because you know your anatomy very well compared to any other person, even including the doctor, because there are so many things you can hide from doctors. So you need to be very honest with yourself. You need if your priority is having sex every day, kind of, with the help of hormones and even with the surgery, I don't think that is the right thing that you can do, because it does decrease. Because even after surgery, you will not have testosterone in your body. So your whatever sexual desire you will have it from some other things in your body, some other hormones in your body, but not from testosterone. Because, and I mean, your body will still have a tiny bit of testosterone, but not as much compared to when you have testicles. So when you get rid of them, obviously you will have decrease in testosterone. So you need to decide what is your priority, because we don't transition to have better sex. If you're transitioning or having surgery to have better sex because you have a kink that, oh, what it would be like to have sex with vagina, that is a wrong opinion, that is a wrong thinking, because you're gonna get yourself in some sort of serious trouble by doing that, because it's not going to be, at the moment I don't think it can mimic 100% like female, but there are some adjustment, it can be close to them. Okay, for some people it does work very well, it works like normal females, but we only hear them less. Mostly we hear people who are saying, yeah, it's okay, or it's fine, oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. But whoever have said this, that they like it or they're enjoying it, it's mostly the person who's having other activities than just, in and out from that side, that thing, the constructed vagina. Because sex is not basically just, in penetration. It's more about the body and more about, oral and other stuff. So if you're not getting that, it's difficult. Even women find it difficult when a guy is just like in and out and not doing anything else. You got to make someone feel sensual and sexual and all that, so that they feel, they get to that stage when they're ready for it. But similarly with trans thing as well. So yeah. Now I'm gonna read the second question. I was just walking this before walking. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, it's fine. Um, Sorry, I'm just going back to the question because I missed that page. So I hope that answered the first question. Why do we not develop sexual desire by looking at? Okay, so the even with the first question, oh my god, this is too big. Why do we not develop sexual desire by looking at naked girl's body in the mirror? So basically, the person is asking that, when you are transitioning and your body becomes like female, like girls, and why don't you feel desire, like sexual desire, when you're looking at your own self in the mirror? So basically, again, as I said, everybody's different. Okay, I am not attracted to femininity sexually, I'm attracted to masculinity sexuality. So not every trans person is the same. There are some trans people who like women, there are some trans people who like men, there are some trans people who like both. And so so I don't feel sexually aroused when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Yes, I do admire myself when I look in the mirror, because I see it through the eyes of the audience, basically. And I feel like, okay, yeah, I'm looking good. I'm looking good. I look nice and all that. But if you see my sense of dressing as well, you will notice that I don't dress very feminine, in a very feminine manner. I mean, I dress somewhat feminine, but not too much, like silk and fishnet and all that. A lot of trans people, not a lot, okay, some trans people do that. But everybody is different, okay? I don't have any kink like that. I think my gender dysphoria was mostly about how I naturally look than what I wear and stuff. I don't do that much makeup either. So as you can see, I do not have that much makeup. I only have lipstick on my face. If you see my eyes, there's no filter, there's no like eyeshadow or anything like that. There's nothing. So that's what I mean. Like I'm very natural, and my need from transition was to to become feminine, to see myself what I see from inside, and to be honest, like surgery for me, if I ever want to have a surgery down there, it will be mostly because of complications for going out in public, going out in beach to wear bikini and stuff, or the airport, because whenever I go to airport to go some to travel abroad, they check, and for some reason that machine, the ones you have to pass from, and the one which checks and detects like metal detector and stuff, when I pass from that, it always like bleep on that area, groin area, because they select women, and then probably there's no women down there, so sometimes it does bleep, and then I have to get checked and stuff. So this it's a bit embarrassing experience with HRT without having surgery when traveling abroad, but sometimes I have to deal with it. So yeah, for those reasons, and also if I ever want to have a vagina, my own vagina, then that will be for also because I don't want to be on hormones for the rest of my life. I want to try to reduce the amount as much as I can. So for example, if if I have a surgery or if I have my testicles removed, which is orchiectomy, then I don't have to take anti-androgen injections, which means I will have less, drugs in my body, which is better because less drugs, less side effects, less, risk to health. So that is one concern that I have really, which is seriously making me consider having a surgery or testicle removed. The other thing is like if you, for example, if I get arrested, for example, for any reason, I don't want to get arrested, but if I do, and if I still have my penis, no matter how good I feel from inside, how feminine I feel from inside, whether I have no desire in women and stuff, but people will put me in male prison. How things are going nowadays, I might go to male prison, and I seriously don't want. I rather live celibate life. If I want to have a prison in which I don't have to deal with any inmates and stuff, because that's one thing I'm really scared of. The forced part, that you hear that a lot in prison, like what happens to prisoners and stuff. So I don't want to get uh, taken advantage of in prison. And yeah, so let me read the next comment. Okay, Roy, thank you. I know it is funny, but it's not funny when someone is actually getting arrested in in prison, because I I hear from a lot of people saying that there are some trans women who are transitioning and they're going to female prison and they're doing opposite. They are actually forcing women and stuff. That is equally bad. Uh, and then there are trans women who are in male prison who are equally getting violated, and so that is equally very bad as well. So either way, like I think there should be something for not just for trans people, but for everyone out there to feel safe. At least that way, feel safe in prison. Like we need to spend our punishment and our prison time, but at the same time, I don't want. That's the last thing I want to get. I hate the idea of that. Like right now, I'm living celibate life, and I think sometimes I feel like asexual person. Like I don't want to deal with anybody sometimes. And imagine like if you're in prison every day, you have no way to go, no one to complain to. So no. Anyway, number question number 2 is, Normal men have sudden onset of sexual arousal anytime or anywhere, or sudden cessation of sexual arousal after 5 to 10 minutes max. What happens to you and what happens after SRH, sudden desire arousal ends? If answer is no, what is your current level of sexual arousal? God, these questions are okay. So I don't know how to answer this question, because okay, I don't have sudden urges. You know what, like when somebody's instant have a hard on, going in public and like getting aroused by looking at some hot guy or hot girl, whatever, or just feeling aroused for no reason, sitting in a class or something. You know, like we all have been there once in our like classroom and stuff, when we have the urges for no reason. We're having a history lesson, or we are doing chemistry practical and having sexual urges all of a sudden. Yeah, when I was not on hormones, yes, that was sometimes, rarely was a case. Okay, I wasn't as bad in that sense. That happened normally during teenage time, when your hormones are spiking, um, male and female, whatever. But after that, you sort of stabilize. Um, but so urgent sexual urges. Since I don't have surgery, so I can't tell that or tell anything about it. But since I'm on hormones, I can just say that no, I don't have those sexual urges. Yes, I do feel sometimes like, uh, even if I'm feeling sexual, it doesn't show instantly down there like proper hard on and stuff. So it doesn't. Okay, it takes its time. For me, it's like after surgery, your body becomes like receptive. So you need the whole package. You need kissing. You need sensuality. You need someone to work you work their way down there, kind of. So you don't feel like, oh, all of a sudden, no, sexually. Maybe when you're newly transitioning, but after transition, after being on hormones for several months and stuff, maybe year, or 2 year or something, depends on your body. uh, that urge is moving away from penis only to all part of your body, for example your breast as well and other places as well. So you feel more aroused from other activities also, rather than specifically just that. But maybe a tiny bit of sensation once in a while, but it's not gonna be like staying for 10 minutes or something like that. No, you might get a just twang and that's it. Anyway, so I can't, I don't know, sorry, I can't answer that one. Question number 3. You once saw it as a boy and now you see it as a girl. Now the question is, are testosterone driven sexual thoughts and estrogen driven sex thoughts different? Or sexual thoughts remain the same? Sexual thoughts, what's the difference between having sex? God, so much sex, sex, sex. God, I feel like my live stream is going for like it is for adults only, by the way, but um, I just want to clarify, it's for educational purposes. Okay, I don't mean to talk anything explicit. So anyway, so sexual desire is a bit different being on hormones, and sexual desire is different being without being not on hormones, like not being on hormones. Because being on hormones, the desire is mostly, I think, you're emotionally you become more emotionally aware of yourself. Your body becomes very connected compared to before transition, because before it's all about getting to climax, basically. Or foreplay, but it's more like foreplay is more like a sport, more like activity before transition. It's more like, oh yeah, I'm gonna please you, and the more you get pleased, the more I feel happy, kind of. Or if somebody's pleasing me down there, stuff like that, or even neck or whatever. But mostly it's down there, you know. So the desire and stuff, they changes a bit because after hormones, like, because it does something to your brain. You start being connected to yourself. You start having self-respect for your body. You start treating your body nicely, and you feel it, like there's a different sensation when it comes to kissing. There's different sensation when it comes to neck crossing and stuff, caressing, sorry, snogging, whatever you call it. But you feel everything after, like, HRT. When you have taken HRT, you don't have to have operation to feel like this, because once you start taking hormones, after you spend some time on hormones, your body reacts differently to touch, basically. Certain parts of your body becomes more sensitive. For example, my breast area became more sensitive. I become more ticklish. I was ticklish, but I become more ticklish. And one more thing I've noticed, that it's easier to get penetrated because your muscles are more relaxed now compared to before transition. Because before transition, your body is very hard. It's a hard body. It's a rock solid type body, male body. Even if you're not like male, like alpha male type, but your body will still be somewhat strong, like harder. Your skin will be thicker. Your body will be like more rough, kind of, compared to when you transition. Because when you transition, your body is softer. You feel the touch more easily, and yes, because your skin gets like thinner, if that's a word. So you feel it more. You feel the touch more. You feel sometimes, when I used to be with my ex, like, my ex didn't sometimes have to go down to make me orgasm. It would be like I could orgasm with just like that. But there are certain men, if you touch them, they become like that. But we call them sometimes weak men and stuff. But whatever it is, your body become more receptive after transition. So that's what I'm saying. So my current level of, sorry, what was the last thing? Sexual thoughts. What's the difference between having sex? So sexual thoughts or having sex. Well, sexual thought is different. Having sex is different. But for me, like now, after transition, even when you have sex, for example, you feel more relaxed. Like I feel more relaxed, and I I feel that I sometimes let go of myself. I feel more easy compared to before HRT, because, as I said, before HRT it was more performative, and now it's more like, yes, I do give pleasure, but I get pleasure as well, so I enjoy it. I'm not more of a performance monkey that I used to be, because it was all the game and the sport, like to impress someone with your, like, how much can you do and stuff, like porn star and stuff. So now it's chilled down a little bit, which is good in a way, because when you do sex, you do it with your heart. Yeah. Anyway, so question number 4: when your libido peaks now, is it the same as before? Why is it all about sex, sex, sex? When is your when your libido peaks now, is it the same as before compared to when you were a man, when the peak level sexual arousal occurs? I think I answered that already. Um, so there's no like fixed time for libido to peak or something. Like, for example, I stop having morning erections. I stop having like wet dreams, basically, which used to be the case sometimes before transition. But after transition, that has changed. So now I'm more chilled, and I'm happy that I have to like I used to feel 30 sometimes, especially because inside it was a woman and it was embarrassing. It was like period that time. Now I'm happy that I'm a woman without period. I'm joking. Like, since I don't have to deal with the wet dreams and stuff, so I'm happy that I have to wash less clothes. Okay. But it can be different for different people, and it also depends on how what is your dosage for testosterone blocker or hormones, because if you're on high dosages you will have less sexual desire, not desire, sorry, less sexual feeling. Okay, not feeling either, you will have less arousal basically. But if you have, what did I say, like, if you have more more hormones, you okay, the more you have hormones, the more you will feel less sexual, and the less hormones you have, the better testosterone level you will maintain, and the better your sex will be, basically. I'm talking about from that side. Anyway, so again, down to testosterone still. Okay, do you still have to take external hormones after SRS? Again, I have not had SRS, but I can tell uh, from my research that yes, after having bottom surgery, you still have to take hormones. You will still have to take estrogen, not as much estrogen as you used to take, maybe, because since you don't have naturally producing testosterone in your body, you know, so you don't have to take that much estrogen either. And yes, so you have to take less estrogen, and you don't have to take anti-androgen, which is, you know, testosterone blocker. So you don't have to take testosterone blocker, because now your body doesn't need that, because it's not producing that much testosterone. So that is good. That is good. And I heard from some people saying that, if you're after surgery, or if you have orchiectomy, then uh, you will see more secondary changes compared to just with the hormones. So I don't know how much of it is the truth, but I'm feeling feminine enough already. So yeah. Okay, what happens if you stop taking hormones? Will the sex drive go away completely? Do you have to take different medicines throughout your life? Okay, yes, you do have to take different medicines in your life. Even after surgery, you have to take at least estrogen. Um, so yes, you do have to, but it can minimize, and you don't have to take anti-androgen. So I have given that answer. And what happens if you stop taking hormones? Well, if you have no surgery and you stop taking hormones, after a while your body will try to go back to normal. If you have developed the breast mass, like, the proper breast, then it will shrink a bit, but it will still be there. You will have to get rid of it from the help of surgery. But a lot of times people get their testosterone's back. They get their sex drive back. They start having the beard again and the body hair, and they start masculinizing again after like that's the case of detransitioners. So they get it back. They start getting those same body back, the one they used to have, but depends how far you have been on hormones. Uh, if you have been too far on your hormones, it will maybe make some changes that will be sort of semi permanent or something, just like breast and stuff. For female to male, yes, they have to suffer a lot, because their voice cord damages. because their voice gets deepened, and once your voice gets deepened, it's so difficult for voice to go back to your normal voice. So that they suffer that way. That's their irreversible. And if they get rid of their breast, for such, FTM I'm talking about, if they get rid of their breast, then obviously you have to you can't get it back naturally. You either have to get implants and stuff, but not naturally. And it can get some side effects. So you need to seriously know what you're getting yourself into. Hormones is not a joke. Uh, I know a lot of people feel so inspired by trans people, seeing a pretty trans woman out there and saying, oh yeah, she can look passable, she looks great, so I should look good too. And you inspire me. I don't like it when people say I inspire them, especially when it comes to transition, because I'm not trying to inspire people to do transition. I'm only trying to help people to have a better life. If they can live as their biological self, they can. If they can't live, if they absolutely can't live, and if they see there's no point in life, and the last resort is the transition, then go for it, because it comes with a lot of negativity, which I will discuss later, and not just the body negativity, but also your relationships, your everything, your daily life, basically. So I'll discuss those side effects. Okay, now question number 7. How are your feelings for boys and girls? Are your sexual or love feelings for boys more intense than ever? These questions, like, um, as much as they are relevant, because I can relate to it before, like, my transition, because a lot of people before starting transition, the bigger part of transition maybe consist of like worrying about what will be sexual life like, will you ruin yourself and stuff, because after all it is important. Everybody, have that. Everybody has sex, so obviously it is relatable. But so my feelings for boys, to be honest, is for me after transition. Again, everybody thinks differently, okay? Just because I'm saying it doesn't mean that all trans people think like this. But what I'm saying is, I feel before transitioning, when I was driven with testosterone in my body, I was more of a go-getter. I was more of impulse person, and I did not care about like one night stand or 1 hour stand and stuff, which I became more cautious after transition, and not purposely, not because, oh yes, now I'm transitioning, so now I have to add value to myself. It's not like that. It help. It comes naturally. So naturally, I became more responsible when it comes to sex, because your emotions gets attached very quickly, and you feel used if a person treats you like that, which wasn't the case when you are not on hormones as much, because before you're like, okay, that person doesn't like me, fair enough, I will sleep with somebody else tomorrow, that sort of stuff you think. But after transition, you, because your heart connected with person, so you naturally do not want to sleep with a lot of different people, because you don't feel like it, you know you're not as desperate as you used to be. As much as women try to say it's a man, it's a man, it's a man, I mean, radical feminists try to say it's a man, it's a man, it's a man, but hormone does something to your brain, and you don't remain this, you're not the same person anymore, the one you used to be. You reflect more, and you value things more, you appreciate the intimacy more, than just one night stand kind of. So my interest in men actually, I don't know whether it's age or whether it's transition, but it has decreased. And okay, I'm still attracted to men. I'm not attracted to women. Okay, just making it very clear out there. But I mean, yes, having interest in men is different than having sex with men. When you ask me about, like, okay, so do you want to have sex more often, or if a cute guy comes to me and saying, oh, do you want to have sex and stuff, I'm gonna say no. So interest, yes, but whether I want to have sex or not, I'm not that desperate anymore. So that has changed, and I don't get impressed very easily now, uh, compared to before transition. Before I was more, yeah, somebody saying sweet thing, let's get laid. But now it's not like that. So it has stabilized. The interest has stabilized. I'm still interested in men, but I'm not gonna be sleeping around thousands of men because I know my heart will get attached and I don't want that. And also, I do not want sex every day, so I can't, I don't feel comfortable like chasing men basically. I can concentrate on other things now. Anyway, uh, question number 8 is a tendency to cry over some things like motherhood, affection, love, emotions, small things already increased. Yes, definitely. My maternal instincts have increased. I don't know whether it's also because of age or because of transition, but I feel very motherly towards a younger person. And I feel like when I see somebody who's at least, okay, let's say somebody is at least 10 years younger than me, I feel motherly towards that person, unless that person having interest in me, that's different. But I'm talking about kids, for example, I feel very motherly towards them. Yeah. Um, because deep down I know that I can't get pregnant. I can't have my own babies because I have not freezed my sperms before transitioning. I can still do that if I do detransition and come back to transition just for the sake of, banking my sperm. But I do not want that. To be honest, I do not want to have my own kid. If I want to have a kid, I will adopt some kid that needs a family because I live with a joint family. So the kid will have grandparents. The kid will have, the family. My nephews will be their friends and stuff. So yeah, and but I'm right now. I'm not ready for kids. But yes, you do feel more motherly. Your maternal feelings increase with transition with age. And affection, love, yes, it increased. I used to be very self-obsessed person. I was only thinking about myself. I never used to comprehend how, my mother, for example, used to stay at home and cook all day and just be happy like that. I never used to understand. I used to go out every day because I couldn't deal with just that sort of life where I used to feel it's boring to stay at home and stuff. But now I give more time to my relatives. I give more time to my family, my mom. I help her, and like after work, my priority is to come to my home and spend time with family. So I become more grounded. I become more calm as a person and very family oriented, which I never used to be as much. So in a way, it's a good thing. And I'm happy that it happened because it's certainly good for my family. I've always been a loyal person to my family, but I wasn't as connected, which I feel more connected now. So I'm happy about that. Okay. What else was that? Feelings for boys more into okay. I don't cry as much, but yes, I do feel emotional very easily, and I can cry more easily compared to how I used to be before. So yes, that's a good thing actually. Yes, I can cry. I used to be called heartless person, which I'm no more. So I'm happy about that. Um, so that has changed. So yes, you do get emotionally connected and bit more emotional than before, but you're not gonna be crying every day, every time. I'm still a strong-headed person, so I'm fine with that. Okay, number 9. What other changes can be observed? Apart from physical changes, which is obvious, the other changes are, right now I can't get anything in my head. I will come back to this question when I think of something, okay? Because it's just. Okay, so that was the last question. Uh oh, that was the last question. Um, okay, then I'll try to answer it. What are the other changes that can be observed? Right, so the other changes are, for example, I'll start with physical, as much as I don't want to start with physical, but for example, it's easy to grow your hair. Your skin obviously gets softer. You have less veins in your hand. I mean, it doesn't show as much on your hands. Less body hair, or it takes time to grow them back. So you can shave quickly and you can wax, or you can do laser and stuff. Less facial hair. You still, if you're dealing with hair fall, for example, you will still have hair fall, but you will not have the same type of hair fall as males. You will have a hair fall like females, basically. So, for example, males lose their hair from this part and all this area, whereas females lose mostly from this part and then goes everywhere. So yeah, you'll still lose hair, but you will lose like females, not like males. So you will not have a square forehead because you're losing hair. You'll still have some hair here, but you'll still lose some hair. So you got to take other sort of medicines if you are dealing with hair fall, for example, after hormones. Um, God, I hope it's so annoying. Um, what else? I felt my when I started my transition, my lips became bigger, but now they look fine. But I used to feel it was very big when I started my transition. Now they're normal size. Something has changed with my eyes. I don't know how to explain this, but they're more feminine, more softer. My cheeks, my chin, and my jawline has different type of shape that it that than it than what it used to have. It used to be very. I think if I have not had transitioned, I would have bigger jaw than this. I would have bigger cheek and stuff than this. But since I transitioned at the age of 26, I had mostly my male changes, but still it didn't damage me as much as it could to some people. So I was glad about that. Obviously, breast growth, good, but breast growth does get affected by your weight. So if you lose weight, a lot of weight, then your breast decreases a bit, and if you gain some weight, your breast increases in weight. But again, it doesn't go completely off even if you become size 0, because you still have the muscle there. So anyway, so those sort of changes. If I'll think of anything, I'll come back to this. And as I said before finishing my live, after answering these questions, I will say one more thing. And the thing I want to say is your relationships, your family, and you as a person change. The difficulties of transition is, I don't know what type of your family situation is. Are you able to tell your parents about your transition? How confident you are? You know, what your goals out of transition and relationships and everything. But life is very difficult as a trans person. And if you're considering transition, get ready. It will not be easy. Trust me, it will not be like people will be giving you compliments every day and stuff. Because yes, people will give you compliments, but then those compliments won't mean much. After like a week or two, after maybe a year or two, those compliments will feel like every day, because you will see other girls having the same type of compliments, because guys are crazy. They give compliments and stuff. Yes, their behavior will change towards you. They will give you, like, the chivalry and all that. Uh, they will show you courtesy and stuff. Depends how you look after yourself. Depends how you come across to them. Because to to have that sort of treatment from a man, you need to act like a lady. So I know a lot of women say like, "Oh, he was not a gentleman. The chivalry is dead and stuff." But if the man is like that, you don't go out with that type of man. And if the man is good, then you have to treat him good. You don't have to be a biatch and then expect that person to show you chivalry and stuff. That's bad. So you get, as I said, it's a lonely life after transition. And lonely in a sense because relationships are very difficult. And your family situation is also difficult. For example, my personal experiences, since I was born in a Muslim background, Muslim family, I'm scared if I die. When I die, we call something called ghusl, like we have to shower our dead, deceased person. And if for males it's your father or your brother, your siblings or your parents, they give you that shower, the last shower. Or if you're a female, then the daughter or mother or sister, they give you the shower. What will be with me? Because I still have my PP, and I have breast. So, the embarrassing situations like this, if you consider something like that, and you know what, my father told me this. He was like, he said, okay, so you see, you have taken step to transition, but have you imagined, like, when you die, that's what happens, and that's what we do, and do you tell us what should we do with you? And I was like, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I don't want anyone to give me that type of shower, but that's the ritual. And yeah, sad. And the other sad thing is, like, kids, for example, family. A lot of marriages, no matter how bad the relationship is, a lot of them survive because of kids, because people compromise and stay in a relationship for the sake of kids if the relationship is not working out. I don't have that excuse. And kids sometimes add the to the relationship. They make your relationship stronger. A lot of guys have a lot of respect for their kids' mothers. If they have a child with that woman, they can sleep around with different women, but they will still have a special place for the woman they have kids with. Even after divorce, you're still connected. I know that they wouldn't be able to have biological kids with me. So I can imagine there will be nothing that saves our relationship after some years, when the sparks goes away, when the emotions and the love flies off the window. What will hold our relationship? So these are a few things you need to consider. Because, for example, even if you're starting transition and thinking, oh yeah, guys will be after you, you will be having sex every day, and you will have good treatment from men. That's just a younger self thinking. But when you get older, slightly older, you you feel like, okay, yeah, now everybody's coming after me, but I want something more now. I want a relationship, I want a house, I want someone serious with me, I want someone to give me equal respect. And even if you find someone like that, it is so difficult to hold that type of person because you won't be able to provide as much as a woman, a biological woman, do. And I'm sorry, I don't want to offend a lot of you guys, but in my case, for example, I know deep down, for example, in my past relationships, I felt like I can't have sex with you every day. Whether it's because of hormones, whether it's because I do not have a proper functioning vagina at the moment. And no, I can have sex, yes, but not every day. It's not like my biological vagina need and stuff. So, and but a lot of people have different sort of criteria from what they want in life. Secondly, I was constantly feeling that since I don't, even if I will have a vagina, that will be not functioning as women's vagina. And for example, before HRT, I will be, whenever we have sex, for example, I will always have to use lube. You know, that's another thing. Oh, yeah, hang on. You're feeling aroused, but we're having sleep sex, but let me get my lube. Stuff like that, you know. Or, um, or just someone, finding someone serious because you sometimes feel like you don't have anything to talk about with a person because it's only you two of you, and you feel like you're stopping someone from having all the fun they can have in life. For example, if that, in my past relationship, I used to think like, you know, if that person wasn't with me, then they would have been with a girl, and a girl could give more to the table. The biological woman can give more to the table. They can give kids and they can give family. They can, you know, they are biologically they are blessed, which I'm not as much. And yes, no matter how much the person loves me, and the more the person loves me, the more it hurts me that I'm not able to give that much to the table to that person. So yes, it hurts. And the constant fear of you getting older, because you can have complications. So if you don't have a surgery, for some reason you have to go off on hormones, you will have those changes back again, the manly changes, or you know, if you're FTM, then the feminine changes and stuff, and you don't want to go through all that. So you do have that scare. I mean, you're scared about that. For example, in USA, a lot of state people are so scared because some of them, you know, because the rules changes every day. There are wars every day, and I'll, it's more than a basic necessity, because for basic necessity you need a food and a shelter, but if you're a trans person, you need more than food and shelter. You need hormones, you need treatment, you need your, and hormones is not just to feminize yourself but to maintain yourself, because after surgery it will, you have to be on hormones, because if you're not taking hormones your body will stop producing, because your body will not have testosterone after surgery. So your body have to rely on estrogen, and if you're not taking estrogen for some reason, your body can have develop so many health conditions, including weaker bones and stuff. So you got to be very careful. You know, it's tough life. It is tough life, and you can get clocked by people. You know, you can, no matter how possible you are, there are certain days you're not 100% possible. There are certain days where or certain things that you do or you have to go through, and where you have to reveal your real birth gender, and you know, it's embarrassing that way. The thought of getting older, yes, you will get older with the help of hormones as you are as a woman, because you feel like one from inside, and now you're happy that you're not going to be an old grandfather, you will be old grandmother after transition. So that's a happy feeling. But at the same time, the worst thing is, you know, will you, how, what is going to be your health like, you know, if you're on hormones? And Will your family be with you? Will you be a lone person? You know, the sense of normalcy, the normal life. Um, you're scared of that. Will you have that or not? And those thoughts, trust me, after 10 years of transition, this still scares me. You know, they're not going anywhere. Although I'm happy within myself, as much as because I'm young right now, so I might think differently. But when I'm older, I will think differently. And if I want to get rid of hormones, if I want to go off on hormones, then the problem is I know right now I will not be happy because I will go. I mean, my body will start becoming manly again, and I won't be able to see that to myself, and I might end up harming myself. So either way, I'm not happy. I'm desperate. So I just want to tell all of you who are saying you are inspired by me, and you are inspired by somebody on social media, seeing a trans person on social media and stuff. Life is very difficult after auditioning. Because you become more emotionally aware, these things will hurt you more. The things you right now take lightly because you have testosterone in your body, you will not take it as lightly as you used to. I'm not trying to scare you completely, okay? I'm not trying to say, oh no, don't do transition, it's horrible, horrible. No, no, it does work out for some people, but it's not the bed of roses. So you will still have certain side effects, you will still have health issues, you will still have, family issues and the normalcy in life. And you need to be a very strong person. And you might be living in an environment which is not safe for you, where you will have more people who are going to ridicule you, and you're not sure what will be the world like after like 5 or 10 years, because who have thought in America that now they're banning a lot of trans stuff and woke people, which I don't completely agree or disagree. I'm not going to that debate, but I'm just saying things like that happening because America used to be like a very free country for everyone where people can just be, eccentric, but now it's becoming a very Christian country. So, and the crime rate is going higher. So, if you are a part of minority group where your life is already at risk, or if not at risk, then at least you are getting harmed or ridiculed, it can also go worse. So you have to be very careful. And for example, if you are interested either in men or women, it's difficult to find that person. And once you find that person, uh, will that person will be stay with you for forever or to that long? Because let's face it, nowadays divorce ratio is so high in even cis people, and when you're trans, it's even more difficult because you have more issues than that. And I think a lot of guys who are attracted towards me, they are mostly the type of men who are either bitter by women or who either have some sort of mental problems, who may have some sort of uh, mishap in their life or trauma or something like that, because I always feel like I attract those type of people who are seeking help, and they get attracted to my niceness because I bring more to the table when it comes to care, when it comes to being submissive basically, because they think, I don't know whether they think or not, but certainly I do. But at the same time, that niceness is not going to help me personally, because I might be bringing more to the table, I might be giving more to that person because I'm desperate in a way that, yeah, it's only difficult to find serious person as a trans person. So if I find a serious person, if I find a nice person, then I will do everything in my power to be with that person and to look after that person. But at the same time, I will still be not able to give everything to that person. So it hurts. And in both of my previous relationships, I have seen my exes after some time they either start cheating or either they started being interested in other women and stuff. They started looking at them while they were in relationship with me. So it does show me that no matter how much you do for the person, you can't make someone be faithful or loyal to you no matter how much you do for that person. And a lot of relationships and marriages, unless if you're very, 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 very lucky, they only last because you have some sort of third party to connect you together, which is kids mostly. And in my case, I wouldn't be able to have biological kids with that person. And if I have to, then even after freezing my sperms and, having test tube or surrogate babies and stuff, that's a long process. Not everybody wants to go through all that. Some people enjoy seeing their women getting pregnant, and there's a lovely time. Sorry, there's a lovely time where a couple enjoy being going through with that stuff. Like when they see their wife getting pregnant, they try to pamper her and they try to participate in delivery and stuff, and the first year of a child and stuff. So it has its own joy which I cannot provide, and hence the type of men who are attracted to me are mostly either who has been through all that and it did not work out for them, or either who are players, or who had some sort of issues. So yeah, good luck to you if you're interested in all that. I hope I answered everything. Thank you very much for listening. Please do like my video so more people can see it. I need more followers. I want to monetize my channel, so at least I'll get some extra money from ads revenue so I can, try to afford my surgery, which is a long way to go, but I will try. Please do support, okay? Like my channel, share the video. If you have any group, share it on a group, Facebook, Instagram, or anything. I don't use any of that right now, so please do me that favor. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for coughing too much. I've been talking a lot. Look after yourself, guys. Bye. Thank you for listening.